Right friends, once again welcome to Learning Space. This is on surrogacy and critical comment. In fact, a bill was introduced in Parliament which proposes to ban commercial surrogacy and which proposes to allow altruistic surrogacy, and there are some positive aspects. It prevents exploitation of women, and at the same time the bill came for critical comment. I am going to deliberate various aspects of critical comment on the surrogacy bill. You may have a doubt what is meant by surrogacy. Surrogacy is when a woman carries a baby for another couple. Please understand carefully. When a woman carries a baby for another couple and gives up the baby after birth. So, this woman is carrying baby for this couple, and after birth that baby will be given to this couple. And in the month of November 2015, government imposed a ban, and prior to that the commercial surrogacy in our country is $2 billion. And if you go back to November 2015, government imposed a ban on foreigners, and at that time foreigners accounted for 80% of surrogacy births in the country. So let me tell you once again, government imposed ban on surrogacy for foreigners in November 2015, and prior to that it is foreigners accounted for 80% of surrogacy births in the country. And this is because of the reason several countries banned commercial surrogacy, and several countries in Europe completely prohibited surrogacy, not only to protect the reproductive health of the surrogate but also the future of the newborn. And here this woman is called a surrogate, please understand. And at the same time, in 2008, what are the problems associated with when foreigners are allowed for surrogacy? Please take this. This is a classic case. In the year 2008, a Japanese doctor couple commissioned a baby in a small town in Gujarat, but by the time the baby is born, the couple got separated. So these are the problems associated with this surrogacy by foreigners, and rightly government in November 2015 imposed a ban on foreigners resorting to surrogacy in our country, right? And several such incidents, as I have told you, just like the incident of Japanese doctor, several such incidents resulted in number of PILs in the Supreme Court to control commercial surrogacy, and 228th report of the Law Commission of India also recommended to ban commercial surrogacy. And under these circumstances, government decided to ban commercial surrogacy. What is the difference between altruistic and commercial? Altruistic surrogacy involves no money transaction, no monetary compensation to the surrogate mother. I have already told you in this classic example, she is the surrogate mother for this couple. These two are the couple and she is the surrogate mother, and commercial surrogacy involves money will be given to her. Altruistic surrogacy involves no money. So altruistic means selfless service. The persons, whoever are doing selfless service, they are known as altruistic. Let us come back to the discussion. Altruistic surrogacy. Altruistic surrogacy involves no monetary compensation to the surrogate mother other than the medical expenses and insurance coverage for the pregnancy. Other than medical expenses and insurance coverage during the pregnancy, no other monetary compensation will be there, no money will be involved. This is altruistic surrogacy, selfless service. Then commercial surrogacy means it includes monetary benefit or reward when money is involved, or anything in kind like property is involved, which exceeds basic medical expenses and insurance coverage. Basic medical expenses and insurance coverage are part of altruistic surrogacy, but if the monetary compensation or kind, that means the property, is more than this medical expenses and insurance coverage, then it is commercial surrogacy. So, bluntly speaking, commercial surrogacy involves monetary compensation. Altruistic surrogacy is selfless service which involves no monetary compensation. And the $1,000,000 question is, how many people are there in our country at present who are doing selfless service? Then let us go ahead. The conditions as per the bill: altruistic surrogacy is allowed, commercial surrogacy is not allowed, and at the same time foreigners are not allowed, homosexual couples, gay couples, they are not allowed, people in live-in relationships are not allowed to have surrogate child, single parents are not allowed, overseas Indians, unmarried couples, they are not allowed, right? Then allowed means here altruistic surrogacy is only allowed, and the conditions are: childless couple who did not naturally have a child for 5 years after marriage and in the age group of 23-50 for women and 26 to 55 for men. And another important aspect is surrogate mother must be among the relatives. Please understand, surrogate mother must be among the relatives. No transfer of funds as inducement except medical expenses and insurance. Surrogate mother must be in the age group of 25 to 35 years and can act as a surrogate mother only once in a lifetime. Right? These are the conditions for altruistic surrogacy, but commercial surrogacy is banned, and at the same time these class of people are banned. So, this resulted in lot of critical comment. Nowadays, when we are fighting for LGBT community rights, now this type of discrimination to these groups of people came under serious comment, and today I am going to deliberate on critical comment on the surrogacy bill. And before going ahead, for altruistic surrogacy also, certificate of essentiality must be there, and here a certificate of proven infertility of one or both members of the couple. So, one or both the members of the couple must first obtain a certificate of proven infertility from a district medical board, and after that an order of parentage and custody of the surrogate child passed by the magistrate's court, and insurance coverage for the surrogate mother. So, these three things are to be ensured for the altruistic surrogacy also. So, there are several restrictions in this. This is one, and these are various restrictions, right? So, altruistic surrogacy is allowed, commercial surrogacy is not allowed, and at the same time certain classes of people are excluded from surrogacy. And before going ahead, other aspects of surrogacy bill I listed here, please go through them. Implementation will be through national and state surrogacy boards. Any establishment found undertaking commercial surrogacy, lot of fines are recommended in the bill, right? So, registered surrogacy clinics will have to maintain records for a minimum period of 25 years. These are all conditions imposed in the bill. Now, let us start with the critical comment. First and the foremost is, it excludes single people, live-in partners, homosexuals, NRIs, PIOs, and the critical comment is, these are the people who need the surrogacy the most. So, that's why excluding these people is not acceptable to some sections of society. Second point is, nowadays world over, people are fighting for LGBT rights, and excluding certain cross sections of people may go against Article 14 of the Constitution, which looks at right to equality. The third point is how the state can interfere in the prerogative of a person to have children. The right to reproductive autonomy is included in the right to life. So, some people say that this is some people's opinion. Please mind, the right to reproductive autonomy is included or inbuilt in right to life, and it is not for the state to decide how a child should be born. Then the next point is the government's contention of married couples. Here, married couples with children are not allowed surrogacy. Here, as per the bill, if married couple have at least one child, they are not permitted to have another child through surrogacy. The government's contention is it may lead to discrimination, and sometimes it may bring up the questions of inheriting the property. One child, own child, and one child through the process of surrogacy, the biological parents are the same couple. So, here government's intention is, or you can say government's contention is, there may be discrimination and there may be questions of inheriting the property, and some sections of the society feel that it is without basis. And it is also pertinent to note, even biological siblings are fighting the court battles for property even now also, right? Then look at the next one. Commercial surrogacy is banned and only altruistic surrogacy will be allowed, and surrogate mother to be a close relative of the couple and should be married and should have a child of her own. So, these conditions are imposed, it's alright, but finding a close relative for altruistic surrogacy with the given conditions is not an easy task. Then the next point is money transactions are totally banned, but it may lead to some transfers in kind, just like houses, gold, who can stop it? So, it may create an illegal market overall. Then the next point is, when the surrogate mother is a close relative, then how can she bear the mental agony when the child will be growing up in the close vicinity, and this may lead to some emotional stress to the surrogate mother. Then the next point is, in fact, some of the families are exiting from perpetual poverty, and this fact is also hard to ignore in our country when poverty-ridden families are continued to be in poverty for decades together. So, the point here is, at least this surrogacy is acting as a route for some families to come out of perpetual poverty. Then, excessive regulation on political, social and cultural considerations invades deep into what the Indian courts recognize as right to reproductive autonomy and right to procreate and parenthood. It may be against right to reproductive autonomy and right to procreate and to parenthood. The last one is, how and by what method does one choose to be a parent, naturally or through surrogacy, is not the state's prerogative. The objective should be only to ensure a safe environment for exercising the choice. So, these are critical comments with regard to surrogacy, and let us see how the debate goes on in Parliament. And all these things, as per the critics, will go against liberal democracy, and with these types of regulations, liberalism and plurality will be under a serious threat, as per some of the critics, right? So, with this, let us conclude this second capsule. Please do join for third capsule. We are going to deliberate on nutrition security. Have a nice day. Thank you.